This is Vikings United, your ultimate destination for everything Minnesota Vikings. Bringing together the most passionate fans, insightful analysts, and dynamic creators from across Skol Nation. Get ready for deep dives, spirited debates, and exclusive insights from Coach Cody. We're celebrating our community, honoring our heroes, and fueling your fandom with Pillars of Valor coffee. This is more than a show. It's a movement. This is Vikings United.
Purple and gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, that's how you know. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. I'm representing Skol, the gang, you know the name. It's a Minnesota thing. Put that on the purple blood that's running through these golden veins. Hail, sleet, snow, or rain, regardless, we gon' go to games. $1 billion stadium on Sundays, they don't close the bank. Fail rarely, get your tail buried. Give his JJ to JJ on Hail Marys. I'm like Aaron Jones, I see the field clearly. Gain 150 yards off of 12 carries. And 2 tugs, I say you crack a can of ice cold whoop ass on the Packers fan. Downtown Minneapolis, we pack the stands and put our hands above our heads when we clap our hands. That's how we clap our hands, we put our hands above our head when we clap our hands. Now clap your hands and put your hands above your head when you clap your hands. That's how we clap our hands, we put our hands above our head when we clap our hands. I said clap your hands and put your hands above your head when you clap your hands. Purple and gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, that's how you know. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. If you from Minnesota, let me know. If you from Minnesota, here we go. Minnesota notice. I'm known to Skol and then blow the coldest and Skol until I got scoliosis. So when we Skol, we so ferocious. So just know, just way before 84 was the dopest. We showed you who the purple and the gold is. If you from Minnesota, let me know. Right now. If you from Minnesota, here we go. Minnesota. And gold, that's all we know. Purple and gold, we holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how we roll. Purple and gold, now holla Skol. Purple and gold, this how it goes. Purple and gold, we holla.
Welcome into the Scene Project Sports Network. You are here tonight for Vikings United, our weekly deep dive on the Minnesota Vikings and the rest of the NFL news. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Big B. My name is Bubba Startz. B, what's happening, buddy?
Just ready to talk some Skol action. I know some of the schedule has been leaked, so we might talk about some of those, but outside that, just get to hang with my boys and talk ball.
Let's go. Let's get Coach in here. What's happening, Coach Cody?
What's going on, fellas? Let's get it. Big week for Vikings football. Big signings. Let's get into it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Was it a big signing? Come on now.
Oh, and then I got some big news for you guys as well. Finally getting into the high school ranks.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
Big news. Yep. All right, let's get Pods in here. What's happening, Pods? Welcome to the show, brother.
How's it going, guys?
We're here. It's good.
Don't sound too excited there, Pods.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be talking about Minicamp and Juaun Jennings. Like,
I'll get rid of him.
All right, get rid of him.
Yeah, you ain't bringing that fire. We don't need you, pods. You can Cali with your friends.
There was some interesting stuff. I'm really curious to see how, the offense is gonna gel this camp, because I'm not worried about the defense in the slightest. I want to see what production we're gonna get out of this Minnesota offense, because honestly, that's going to be the determining factor on whether this team wins 11 or 12 games or they only win 8 or 9 games.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got next to nothing out of the offense for a majority of the season last year, and you finished with 9 wins. And I think you have a more dangerous defense this year that's going to give your I think you're going to have more short fields like you did in 2024 when Sam Darnold was lighting the league up and you had a historic defense. And I think that's what a lot of people, forget last year when all the talk was about, oh, we should have kept Darnold. Well, yeah, your defense didn't produce at the historic levels that they did the year before either. So it's much harder. It's much harder to go 80, 90 yards every single drive to score rather than 40 or 50 because your defense is turning the ball over 32 times in a season, right? So I think that's something that gets lost. I want to hit our sponsor shout out real quick. Let's get a word from Odyssey. Then we're going to come back in. We're going to talk about Juaun Jennings signing. We got some of the schedule being leaked a little bit there. We had rookie mini camp already. Of course, not a ton to talk about in that, but we got to see some of these guys on the field for the first time. So a lot to cover here, and Coach has some breaking news for everybody too. So quick word from our sponsors, Odyssey Exteriors, and then we'll be right back with everybody. In Minnesota, your home faces it all. Brutal winters, pounding hail, and summer storms that don't hold back. That's why homeowners trust Odyssey Exteriors, your local, family-owned exterior experts based right here in Burnsville. From roofing and siding to gutters, windows, and decks, we use Midwest tough materials and certified crews to protect what matters most. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and a reputation for integrity, we treat your home like it's our own. Call 952-923-0062 or visit odyssey.ext.com today to schedule your free exterior inspection. Odyssey Exteriors, built Midwest tough, built for you. Huge shout out to Cole Quinnell, owner of Odyssey Exteriors, his beautiful wife, Tara. Of course, a big happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We're a few days late on that, but of course, we care about all the moms out there, single or not. We love you. Thanks for everything that you do. I had to get my hat too, boys. I don't know if I'm the only one with this one, but I might be the only one with one of these fancy suckers too.
I got one too, Bubba. I got one too.
Did? You got one in your care package? Good. Glad to see everything's hitting. Shout out to Skunk, who covers all of our golf content as well. Our boys up in North Dakota who are also huge Vikings fan. I think at one time Aubrey and Alex or Kyle, they had their own Vikings podcast. So we'll have to catch them on their days off. They're oil riggers up there. So we got to catch them on their days off sometime. Get them in here to talk some ball. But let's not bury the lead, man. Since we last talked, fellas, the Vikings signed wide receiver Juaun Jennings. How we feeling about it?
I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's going to add to the offense, making it already explosive, just that much more dangerous. Literally, we say this every year, but it comes down to that offensive line play. They made a couple switches at center and just on that front five. So we'll have to see how they do.
B, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a good signing. Will it elevate the game of Jordan Addison and some of the guys behind Jefferson that, hey, the Vikings are seriously bringing in talent to take our spots. I mean, we talked about that too. Next guy up. But again, like Coach said, the offense is going to flow around the offensive line. Can we block? Can we give the quarterback time? Can we open up a running game? You know, we know Jefferson's going to get his, but somebody else has to take that pressure off of Jefferson to help get his. So it is going to be pretty interesting. I'm glad they are making moves and not cheap moves. You know, they're bringing in people with talent and not just bringing in people because they're bringing in people.
Yeah. No, I love the fact that, you know, we lost Jalen Naylor in free agency, and I mean, Juaun Jennings is a pretty good replacement for Jalen Naylor.
Jordan Addison is a good replacement for Jalen Naylor. I think Juaun Jennings becomes your wide receiver too.
I agree.
People are, you know, this is a demotion for Jordan Addison, and I know they're not going to come out and say that, but this is a guy that you can put on the field all 3 downs. Mr. Third Down in San Francisco. He had over 100 catches last year. He's a contested ball catcher. He can play outside. He can play inside. Maybe he doesn't have the speed on the outside that a Jordan Addison does, but man, there's plenty of other guys in the league that can run fast and drop balls.
I feel like Brandon Ayuk is coughing somewhere, him and Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah. Facts.
Oz, what do you think about the Jennings signing?
I thought with losing Naylor, it was definitely a good addition, because this might sound controversial, but people will say, well, you know, Jordan Addison, he's the number 2 receiver in Minnesota. Not really. Naylor played a more important role than Addison did. And in my opinion, you bring in a guy like Juaun Jennings, then you can maybe hide Addison's weaknesses a little better by putting him as maybe that go-to slot guy or that gadget play kind of guy. Because I don't think Addison's starter material in terms of like always being out there for offensive packages. And he's very limited in growth, I think, because I feel like he doesn't have the right attitude in the league right now. And he's like trying to be Antonio Brown without a fraction of the talent.
Thank you.
I caught a lot of heat last year saying that Addison was a wide receiver 3. And a lot of people chimed in and were giving me a hard time, but I think that's where he's no, Steve, we've missed you too, brother. We appreciate
where have you been, Steve?
Yeah, Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Danielle.
Yeah, she had a big weekend. Graduated from college and Mother's Day. It was all about my wife this weekend. So forgive me
and the pool
not being there on Saturday with you guys in the golf show, but you covered admirably, Pods. I appreciate that. You and Shady held it down just fine.
Don't forget Adrian, bro.
Oh,
he did great too.
Yeah, he can. Well, and I told him, look, you're just going to have to produce. You won't even have to be on camera. You don't have to do anything. And you guys kept on dragging him out there and asking him his opinion on things, but he said he had a great time. So appreciate you guys, holding down the fort for me. And that's really what is beautiful about the team that we've assembled. So shout out, a big thank you from Danielle to everybody. I know she appreciates all the support that she gets from all of us at the network. No, so kind of getting back to what I was talking about. I think Jordan Addison is in a better position as your wide receiver 3 slot gadget guy. It fits his talent and his skill set better, right? He's not a go up and get it player, right? What is he? 5'11", 6 foot probably on the program, but he plays smaller, I feel like, than his size. He has the speed, but he's not that outside boundary receiver that you need to play that position. And because of his inability to stay on the field because of stupid decisions that he makes off the field, that you can't trust them to be there. And to me, this 1 year signing that you got at a pretty good deal, $8 million guaranteed, right? Base salary with $5 million in bonuses potentially. You got a freaking value at that wide receiver 2 position. Now, granted, a lot less. I mean, this is less than the deal that San Francisco offered him. So I don't know if there was some hurt feelings from the Jennings camp as far as San Francisco and those relationships are concerned, or if there's some talks that we're going to say, hey, we have an opportunity for you to come in on kind of a prove it deal and then to maybe beat this guy out and to cash in big next year. We didn't necessarily have the money to offer him this year on that deal, but go out, shop around. I don't think there was a lot. Obviously, he was still on the market, so there wasn't a lot of people that were willing to give him that, 15 to 17 million he's probably asking for. But to say, hey, we're going to have a lot more cap space next year. You go ball out this year, make yourself a cool, 8 to 13, and next year we'd be willing to give you that wide receiver 2 money that you're looking for, and you get to play opposite, Justin Jefferson for the next 3 to 4 years.
May I chime in on this one?
Go ahead, Pods.
Me too.
Okay. So, Coach, I think me and you were thinking a little similarly, but I'm going to try and get it across in layman terms before he goes all football encyclopedia on us. So, basically, going on just like the budget side of it, if Jennings can come in and prove that he's a legitimate 2 and can work side by side with Jefferson and be productive and also be available and keep his nose and all his business to himself and not have it all out in suspensions and stupid social media crap, it'll be great, because then you can cut Jordan Addison if he, quite frankly, lays an egg this year. You have more cap space to offer him that kind of money, and then you can bring in that wide receiver 3 guy out of the draft and hopefully have him work into being your 2 or 3 or your 2 or 1, depending on how the next contract cycle goes with Jefferson. Because I think Addison's not worth the money for the distractions and the lack of availability when you can get a guy who's proven he can do it in Jennings, and I have no doubts that he can do it in Minnesota. I just don't think that the numbers will necessarily tell the whole story, because I don't know what the quarterback play is going to look like, but I doubt Jennings is going to drop the ball nearly as much as Addison, and he's not going to get stupid penalties in stupid situations.
Well, and I think there's elements to his game. I mean, he's the best blocking wide receiver in the league. A lot of people are touting him as, right? He's a big body. He's willing to get in there and get his nose dirty. And I think what you add in that side, and maybe that's a reason why this team didn't run the ball a lot last year or in prior years, because
they had nobody who could block up field.
Yeah, I mean, that can definitely be a reason that you're not breaking these 50-yarders. You don't have it on there. And Norsefius, what up, buddy? We missed you the last couple of weeks. Nice to have you back, man.
No, I think
I got to hear what Coach thinks.
We were kind of on the same thing. When you said financially, I was like, oh, but I just love it how we see the signing right away. Me and Big B, I was on your side for a minute, but like just the Vikings not making a move, but not having it be a cheap move. Like at first we're like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. Yep. But then finding out that he ended up taking a lower offer than San Fran, like we ended up still finding a way to be cheap. Like yep. I love it. I think it's funny.
Do you think that's the Rob B, influence now in that front office, is not just being the capologist behind several other decision makers, but having that authority in the room right now to say, look, man, we're going to stick to our guns on this, because you saw it with some of the other signings and some of the moves that they made in-house, the Hawkinson restructuring and other things in there, where he wasn't going out and throwing money at anybody and was more than willing to wait it out.
Right. No, I think that's got something to do with it. Just being that much closer to the top and being able to make those type of decisions rather than, well, it doesn't really matter what the hell I say. I got 7 people ahead of me. I I'm looking at this from a different angle. Big B said, last year, Jefferson got his, Jefferson's probably going to get his again this year, but like he damn near got his last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like, yeah, we have him under contract for what, 4 or 5 more years after this one. But if he has another year like last one, he might just try to force his way out. And so this might be like hey, Addison, do you have that dog in you? When we bring in someone who's going to push you and potentially take your spot, are you going to fold or are you going to buck the hell up? Or is it like, hey, this is an extra insurance policy and like just in case Jefferson gets pissed off this year?
That's a good one. That is a very good point.
No, I mean, you're right, Coach. I mean, it took, week 7 or 16 or 17 for Jefferson to get 1,000 yards? I mean, and that's the thing I'm saying is, Jennings is going to bring that other side, and, is Jordan Addison going to step up and be like, okay, I'm now demoted to number 3, which, again, like Bubba said, might suit him a little bit better because if I recall, the longest touchdown play we had this year was Addison's run. So that might help out the whole game. Again, we've also said that KOC does not like to run the ball as much as he should, which, again, we need to figure something out there. We need a balance there. But, yeah, I'm with you, Coach. If Jordan or Jefferson has another year, I guess if we struggled and Jefferson doesn't get his, he'll push himself out. But if we're in the playoffs, if we're a top team and, let's say he only has just over 1,000 yards but has some touchdowns, winning cures all, Coach. You know that. So again, if we're winning in playoffs and knock on the door of the Super Bowl, maybe Jefferson's like, okay, we were building something here. Let's keep building and
run it back.
But if we struggle, I could definitely see JJ saying, hey, I'm done. You guys move your way. I'm going to move my way and go get a ring somewhere else.
I just don't think he's that guy. And that's not to say that he's going to ride or die this thing out his whole career. But I just don't see him as the kind of player like a TO back in the day, right? That's just going to force his way out. I don't see him ever being that. Obviously he's a guy that plays with his heart on his sleeve. It's easy to tell when he's disappointed. You never want your star player, but he's a better leader than that. And I think as a man, and just as a, as a player, that's not who he is. Now, I think he may exert a little bit of that, star power behind the scenes in personal conversations to say, hey man, right? Like, what are we doing? Right. But I think you, Steve says he misses all of us trashing him short round. And Steve, we're going to talk a little bit on the draft since to cover that. And Norsvius, I'm going to keep your comments kind of in here too. We'll get off the wide receiver talk. We will talk a little bit because we have missed you guys. Love to get your thoughts on it. To be perfectly honest, Steve, I didn't pay attention to Green Bay's draft at all. Did you guys get a punter in the 3rd round? I'm assuming that's why you.
No, that was the first overall pick.
First round. No, but I think this is a big move. And much the same way that the Kyler Murray signing is applying pressure to JJ McCarthy, I see the Juaun Jennings signing in a lot of the same way. Now, a lot of people, obviously, Kyler, there's a lot of talk about QB competition, and I got that kind of lined up here too as more news comes out, and the Vikings are definitely pushing that narrative that it isn't competition. Competition's good, right? And whether you believe that Kyler Murray is the guy and is better than JJ McCarthy, you want to put pressure on somebody that has the makeup and what you believe are the physical tools to then show up and put the work in and deliver on that promise. You were a 10th overall pick, deliver on that in much the same way that you're coming to Jordan Addison now and going, hey man, this guy was selected in the fifth round with Juaun Jennings, right? Fifth or later. So a late round pick, a guy that has made his hay in this league by being a guy that's going to go out there and do the dirty work and to make those contested catches, to be that blocking and to make it. Now that first round selection only means something in the paycheck on that first contract. After that, nobody gives a shit. And I think Jordan Addison needs to take a long look in the mirror this year and to go, you know what, if I want to play in this league and get paid, then I need to start performing, because what he put on tape last year was trash. Let's just be perfectly honest, man. You dropped a couple of touchdown passes. You didn't look effective out there at all, besides your one touchdown run on Christmas Day. So I think
hey, man, I don't want to say this.
What's that?
I don't want to say this, but this is kind of a trend now for the last 3 wide receivers that have come out of USC. So that kind of makes me worried about Mekhi Lemon's attitude and how he's going to be.
But it's also who's he around? I mean, and does he want to improve and be better? So I mean, that's another thing too. Where that's something I don't think Addison wants right
now. Man, I have missed you, Norse. Appreciate it. I think there is, pressure. Pressure makes diamonds, or it crushes them, right? And that's where we're going to find out who JJ McCarthy is as a man this year. And if he stumbles and he can't rise up to the occasion, and I think there's a way for him to play, even if he's QB2 all year. If he's showing improvement behind the scenes with this coaching staff, it may be enough for him to learn the system and to get these and to show enough in there that even if Kyler balls out this year, the guy's going to want $35-40 million next year. I don't think the Vikings as an organization are going to cough up that money for a 30-year-old quarterback who had one good year with, a Hall of Fame talent on the outside. Right. So I don't think they're going to do it. So even if Kyler starts all year, you're hoping JJ McCarthy shows enough behind the scenes to give him that 5th-year option, to give him another chance in year 4 to go out and be the man and to go out there. And it's honestly, it would be a business decision. Like I've said before on this show, best case scenario for this team is that JJ McCarthy is your starter long-term. Right? Whether you believe in the kid or not, for this organization, that is the best case scenario. You almost hope he doesn't, so you can sign him to a long-term deal and you only have to pay him maybe $22 to $26 million as your starting quarterback, which would be a freaking value at that position, which allows you to go out and spend money in other areas to ultimately make the team that much better. But, they've been throwing out the word competition around this quarterback room the entire time. Whether you believe it or not, they want JJ McCarthy to believe that. And I think that's the most important thing.
I love it. I love competition, especially with my teams. That gives me a chance to really evaluate not only talent, but how a person responds. Do they have that dog in them, or are they just going to fold? And if you're going to fold, you're not going to last long on my team. I just can't have that.
What's up, Pod?
Coach?
Yeah.
That is the best case scenario, is what he just said. It would be great if JJ turns into the guy. But here's the scenario you were possibly looking at too. Say Kyler does come in and balls out. Say you guys get to the playoffs, to the divisional round.
Mm-hmm.
And say Kyler is a huge reason why that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't sign him because you don't want to pay that kind of money and he goes somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying he's going to win the Super Bowl like Sam Darnold, but if he goes there and plays well that season and JJ doesn't perform, you're going to have, holy shit, we just got Sam Darnold 2 years in a row.
That is one thing I am like 90% afraid of, because the other 10% is that Kyler Murray balls out, we pay him, and then year 2 here, he stinks it up. So that's the other 10%. But the 90% is just what Paz just laid out. If he balls out, he wants money. We're like, no, we got JJ. We're going to move on, and we have a repeat of 2025, 2026. and Kyler Murray goes and, let's say he makes a good run in the playoffs. Let's not even say Super Bowl. Pods just laid it out. Everybody's going to be like, hey, we just lost Sam Darnold too. The coaching staff will be, or offensive side, the coaching staff will be gone. Defensive side will depend on how they're doing. And, but that's what I'm afraid of is that we're going to either, get a good Murray. We're going to sign him because we think he's the future, give JJ another year under his belt. And year 2, Kyler Murray is going to fail, or we're not going to sign him and he's going to go somewhere else and just ball out.
Yeah, it is almost a no. I mean, if you don't produce next year, regardless of what happens this year, if you don't produce, it's a problem for everybody, right? It's a problem for that offensive coaching staff. It was necessary to get someone in here that could apply that pressure from the back, and whether it may be pressure from the front, right? To give JJ McCarthy something to live up to. A lot of people were talking about JJ McCarthy starting over Sam Darnold in his rookie year, right? And it seemed like until his injury that was going to be the case. So, I mean, revisionist history kind of looking back and now looking at, Sam Darnold hoisting the Lombardi in February of this year. It's easy to have 2020 hindsight, right? It's easy to look and go, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. Ultimately, teams do not fall completely on the quarterback's shoulders, right? I would say that Seattle team was built to win with anyone playing competent quarterback, right? I think there's a lot of guys that probably could have led that team into that Super Bowl. It just happened to be Sam Darnold, and that negatively reflects on the team that we root for. I think the chances of Kyler Murray, balling out this year, getting let go, and then balling out the next year and having playoff success, I think you're looking at something that's maybe in like a 20th percentile of that whole scenario playing out like that again, maybe less, right? There's no guarantees that happens.
Well, Sam Darnold not getting signed and then immediately going and winning the Super Bowl with Seattle was probably in the 0.5 percentile.
Yeah.
And then you add in the fact that, we also let Danny Dimes walk away, and he would start 8-1. That's got to be like 0.2. You feel me? Like,
well, and
both of them
that's why your GM got fired, right? That QB room being the mess that it was, and counting your chickens before they hatched with the Daniel Jones and with whatever that they were feeding him, and we don't know what happened behind the scenes there, but that's why the man lost his job. Steve, I don't know any of these guys, so I guess take that. You drafted a kicker from Florida. Okay, we got a probably generational talent.
He said take that.
Yeah, we appreciate you. I don't know why you needed all those cornerbacks, obviously. Oh, what was the guy's name they got from Dallas at the end of the year? He didn't work out. That's too bad. That's too bad. You got beat by the Bears?
He was out for the season in like game 2.
Here's the
Bears
one thing.
in the playoffs?
Yeah, Bears in the playoffs is going to be a very common thing, unfortunately.
That must have been tough. I'm not buying that smoke either. We'll see what happens to that team this year. Like I said, I'm not saying they're going to suck, but we'll see. I
forgot where we're getting off the track. The quarterback. I mean, we had Darnold left. I thought they were going to resign Danny Dimes. Of course, both of them go elsewhere, and for half of the season, they're probably leading the MVP talk because of what they were doing. So I mean, that doesn't look good either.
Oh, that's crazy.
So
yeah, and it sucks that he blows out his Achilles because you don't see what happens to the player after that.
Oh, that changed the Colts' year.
They could have slid with him in there too, right? There's no telling out things. Like, it's easy to look back and they would have won the Super Bowl if he would have stayed healthy. Like you can't make that call. Football's a funny game. So it's easy to look at half a season and to go,
what though? I think it's reasonable to say they probably would have at least made the wild card had he stayed healthy.
Oh, they would have been in the playoffs.
The Colts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They would have been in the playoffs.
2 more games, 3 more games.
Yeah. Coach, here's the I know we said we're done talking about the wide receiver, but I just want to talk about this from an availability standpoint, from a roster standpoint. Is it wouldn't be so bad for Addison if he was just suffering, a little bit of on-field performance stuff, because that can always be fixed with training and stuff if he wants to take it seriously. It's the off-the-field antics and stuff that just get me riled up, because it's like you're costing this offense and how limited it already is, because your running game was non-existent. And you're potentially hurting it by not being available.
Jordan Addison cost us the playoffs last year. If he's in for one of those 6 games at the beginning of the year, you're not telling me that they win one of those games, a couple of them being close ones, with Carson Wentz leading that offense. You're telling me that they don't get one more win. One more win, they're in the playoffs and Green Bay's out. So, it is. Yeah,
I mean, even if he has a good year, is he worth the headache?
I said cut him last year.
Yeah, at
you
this
missed
point,
out on our last half of the season of coverage, but I was saying get rid of him, cut him.
How many years does he have left on his deal?
They just exercised his 5th-year option, which is a business move. To me, it's not necessarily. It's saying that we're going to exercise this so that if you do ball out this year, we have an out. And the Juaun Jennings signing to me signals that even more so. We have an out. Is he
still eligible to be traded on his 5th option?
Oh yeah,
hell yeah.
Okay, because here's what I think. I think instead of cutting him, if he continues to have the issues that he has, on the field, before the off the field issues can even become a problem, I try to trade him for like a 4th or a 5th round draft pick. Get something out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
I traded the St. Paul Bears for a ball boy to be named later.
Like, I feel like if this Addison situation by week 7, week 8 looks like it's not gonna,
he's got to make it to training camp, man. Like,
I know, but I'm just saying,
a couple months before, and that's what worries me. And you don't want, as an organization, to have to worry about a player like that. I think this is all signaling exactly that we're done with your bullshit, right? Yep. We're done with it. We got a guy.
Because the college wide receiver ranks are so deep that you can be replaced next year.
Yeah,
it's not a problem.
The talent that you have
replaced in preseason. I mean,
he could be.
I mean, Vikings also drafted. I gotta think of a guy last year that kind of just hung out as the 5th receiver.
Ty Felton.
Yeah, so I mean, again, he's got to worry about the people behind him just as much as he's got to worry about the person we just signed. So
with this whole thing with Addison, I just wish that either you get a 4th or 5th for him, or you find some way to get some compensatory picks from this, because it would just feel terrible to come away with nothing for all this trouble.
We said that last year.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is that the tape that he put on last year was so abysmal that the value's just not there. And that's why your hand is forced into getting the 5th-year option, because then that gives you that extra year of control that you're potentially trading, right? Like that's what you're trading is he has to go and ball out and show that he's still
and he has to really ball out. I mean, like 1,300 yards ball out.
Oh. That's gonna be tough.
If you're gonna be that much of a problem, you better be putting up some big ass numbers.
Well, no, he's not be putting up numbers.
806 TDs, 807, at least 800 yards. But Jefferson's gonna take a bunch of that. Hawkinson's gonna take it, but there's just not enough love to go around.
Hawkinson can barely get 5 yards down the field.
But the thing is Jennings coming in, he's going to take a bulk of that. So I mean, coach is right. You got to go and I wouldn't even put total yards because they're going to use him as a runner too.
Okay,
so you get between.
If I'm going to give him wide receiver number 2 numbers, give me at least 750 yards and give me 5 to 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, I would agree that. I mean. touchdowns might be a little high depending on how the offense goes, but I mean, yeah, he's got to be close.
That's where he would get the bulk of his touchdowns, though. I feel like if he's going to be competent too, it's going to be like 30 yards and in.
Yep. I totally agree with that.
Because the one's going to get anything that's 50, 60 yards all the way to 15 and 10 yards.
Yeah.
So, like, we need that middle of the field kind of player, and he's shown he can get into the middle of the field, but he hasn't shown that he can maintain possession of the ball, and he has not shown that he's mature enough to know the situation and what's going on in a game. We have literally watched the guy celebrate and cost the team a win.
Yep.
Because they were in the 2-minute drill, and he wanted to get his Instagram shot in.
Yep. And the thing is the Vikings have had people before that have had holding on to the ball problems, a.k.a. Adrian Peterson in his younger days. I mean, they worked hard on him.
Because
he's now going in as Ring of Honor this year, so congrats to him. But, I mean,
thanks for bringing that up, B. I didn't have it on the list, but I definitely should have. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about AP a little bit, and maybe it's a good time to
getting inducted into the Ring of Honor.
So, let's go. Favorite AP memory, B, go.
Oh, obviously, there's two. The one game where he was like 4 yards away from breaking the all-time game rushing record against the Chargers, I believe. But honestly, the coming back from his ACL, first play of the game, 98 or 99 yards, it took it to the house on the first play of the year, which I believe led him to his MVP year. So those are definitely my two things that stuck out to me when it comes to AP.
Coach?
My favorite AP moment, I think Brett Favre was quarterback. We were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and AP just comes out of the backfield, runs like an up and out. Favre hits him. AP catches the ball, immediately trucks a defender. I think it was Ike Taylor, but just buried that dude. That was awesome right there. Just seeing, like, didn't even expect it, didn't even know he was there. Maybe anticipated that he was going to get hit over the middle, but like, he didn't budge, he didn't back up, he didn't give up any ground. He buried that guy. That was amazing. That was by far the best.
Pods, you got one?
I do. It's not a pro one, though. I remember watching him play in Oklahoma, and he was playing against KU. So I got to see him play twice a year, KU and Kansas State. And I remember he broke a tackle on the left edge, and this safety was coming in to get him on the sideline. He just stiff-armed him and broke it for like 50 yards. And the Sooners ended up blowing out the Jayhawks. Like, I think it was like 48-6. It was. I just remember it was like watching a man among boys, watching Adrian Peterson just run people over.
Yeah, speaking of that, I spent all of AP's career watching in Navy and Burnt Orange. So I don't have any good memories of AP, to be perfectly honest. Dude went for.
You have a couple good memories. I mean, he balled out against the Bears.
Exactly, yeah. But they weren't like good feelings that I was having in the moment. I'm just like, dude, this guy again.
But you guys had that kryptonite that Charles Tillman with that peanut punch. Oh man!
But he still got his yards. He still get his yards. Maybe didn't have as many as he should have, or that. But yeah, what a player, man! What a player! What a man as well. Never.
If Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, then Adrian Peterson owns the Bears when it comes to the days.
He was assistant GM of that team or GM of that team. If Rodgers is the owner, he's the GM for sure. You guys sound off in the comments your favorite AP memory there. We're gonna see if we can't get nice. We got Norse is gonna jump in and join us too. I'm gonna shoot him over the link.
I want to hear Steven's best AP moment, being a Packers fan.
Yeah, Steve, you still with us? We want to know your favorite AP.
Odds.
And anybody else in the chat, we'd love to hear it. Just a huge congratulations to be named into the Ring of Honor on this team, which I think everyone saw coming. I don't think there's anyone that's surprised by the move necessarily, but
I'm not surprised. I thought maybe his off-field personal stuff might have halted him a little bit to get in, but I'm glad he's there. I know Cody.
He disciplined a kid.
Well, no, and I get that, but that's it is not the way the world works these days. So I'm glad he got in. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm glad he got in. So.
Yeah, Coach, you don't use the switch. You just use a freaking hitting sled.
You feel me?
Instead of hitting the switch, you're like, here, hit the sled again.
Again.
There's our guy. Awesome. Norspius, welcome in, brother. Good to have you, man.
I love that backdrop. I'm not even going to lie. I love that backdrop.
Can you hear us, Norse?
Uh-oh.
Oh, we got
you.
Oh.
I think
right.
favorite
AP memory. Go.
Dang. Hang on a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Let me get to a better place.
No worries.
Here, hold on. I got one from his pro days. It's a little bit of an underrated one, and it wasn't even like.
I think Norby needs to find a Darth Vader with the purple and gold jersey on.
I think my favorite AP Pro moment was the year after he came back from his ACL, and I think it was like after the 99-yard bomb. It was like the second or third series they were out there, and dude just hit the hole, planted his leg, and just trucked the inside linebacker to the ground while picking up like 8 yards. And I'm just like, oh, he don't give a crap. He's not scared to run this ball at all right now.
He's here today.
Like, there was no timidness. He's like, I'm going to make sure that you're eating floor and turf by the end of this.
Yep.
All right, Norris, you there?
Am I back?
Oh, yeah, you're here. We got you.
All right, cool. I'm out in the garage now. I got better service.
Awesome,
So,
man.
Big
What's
B.
your favorite Adrian Peterson memory?
I remember him just shoving down that DB against Cleveland. Like, get off me. You're on my train tracks, boy.
Yep.
But then again, there was also the 296 game, too, against the Chargers,
that was
where
disgusting.
in the first half, he didn't have hardly anything. He had like 48 yards or something like that. If that.
Yeah, that's true.
But Big B, you said something about the Vader thing. I want to tell you guys the story behind my name and the whole blue and red thing.
Okay.
It comes from, the movie The Matrix.
Yep.
Morpheus, the character, where everybody knows where he holds out a red pill and a blue pill, and Keanu Reeves takes the red pill. Well, I figured I'd morph that into, of course, Norpheus while offering a red and a blue pill. But
there you go.
What color do you get when you take both a red and a blue pill?
Purple.
Purple. There you go. That's the story of me.
No, and now that I see it, I see it wasn't Vader, and I apologize. But yeah, I was just, I think the guy would look cool in a purple and gold jersey there. But
so, oh man, what did you think about the Juaun Jennings signing?
Am I breaking up again?
No, you're good. We got you.
Okay.
What'd you think about the Jennings?
What do we got going on tonight, boys?
So what
you know what? I don't think I don't think they could have gotten a better number 3 receiver. There's nobody else out
number
there.
Number 2 receiver, Norse. Number 2.
Yeah, he's really. You know how? I don't know if you watched like the Purple Daily guys where Thor talks something. He made a really good point. he wanted Scottie Pippen money, but he's not Scottie Pippen. He's Dennis Rodman. And I really like that analogy. I mean,
yeah, but Addison
even
ain't
though,
Scottie Pippen either. So
yeah, and even, you know, to go a little further, I mean, their wide receivers went down, so he did have to step up to be their number one receiver.
Yeah.
over 100
But
catches.
I love the pick. I mean, I love the signing for sure. And if O'Connell does what he says, which he has not proven yet, they're going to run the ball more, I hope, with Frank Smith coming from Miami, who was a strong run game coordinator. We might just have something there. Because he's an excellent blocker out on the outside. He really is.
Hey, since you're on with us, Norspius, Steve asks, who's going to throw him or them the ball?
All right. Here's my thing. I mean, I'm 100% JJ McCarthy. And the reason for this is, you know, I'm not a Michigan fan. I'm a Minnesota and a Notre Dame fan. I mean, my mom is 100% Irish, so, you know. But yeah, but here's where I stand. It behooves the Vikings. I mean, he's 23. He's 23 years old. He's only had 10 games. And I don't really want to hear of all the, you know, where I've been on other shows where, well, he can't stay healthy. He can't stay healthy. Well, get an offensive line, a competent offensive line in front of him instead of 23 combinations in front of him. And then he might just stay healthy and he will prove it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. How do you,
But on the other side of it, I do know the politics involved, where I don't think they signed Kyler without giving him the initial head nod to be the number one. But
Steve,
if everything goes as it has been,
calling him short round.
Uh-oh, sorry,
Bubba,
Bubba, I can hear you.
To cut you off.
I love it.
I missed what you just said, man. You cut off on my end.
No, Steve keeps calling Coach Cody short round. I was telling him that Cody's going to drive across the border and come kick his ass if he keeps that up.
I don't think Steve actually lives in Wisconsin. I think Steve lives in another state.
Wherever to kick his ass. It's all good.
Daphne, Minnesota, we're coming.
No, Norris.
But you know, I don't.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. I talk enough.
Like I said, I mean, I don't think Kyler signed without that head nod. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the politics of the game. So if things go the way they have gone the last 4 years, well, 3 years, we'll say, Kyler will not be 100% healthy for 17 games. And so if he starts, JJ is going to take that job and he's not going to give it back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I've said, that's the best case scenario for that. And Steve, you better watch out. Cody got to know Wyoming quite a bit, coaching the Cavalry this season out there in Gillette. So you better be careful. I'm very familiar with the beautiful state of Wyoming as well. Norspius, I'm with you. I think the best case scenario for this Vikings team is JJ McCarthy proves it, whether it's pressure from the back or it's pressure from the front. That he still has something left to prove. And I think that's the reason that you make a move to bring a guy in. It didn't cost you anything, right? So on a business level, you have a former number one overall draft pick, a guy that has talent, questionable, ethics when it comes to preparation, with Kyler Murray, which has given me pause, right? Him preparing to run a completely new system under KOC that requires a lot of anticipation. And while the guy has all the athletic ability in the world, I don't know that he has has that in him. And judging from what Pods has kind of spoken about with us, that this KOC offensive system, and the reason that guys like Kirk Cousins or Sam Darnold operate so well in it is because it is timing. It is preparation that gets you there. It's anticipation that gets you there, not we're going to go out and play backyard football, right? And honestly, if you want to run the ball and be more of a power running team, you need to do that from under center. I don't know if Kyler Murray can play under center because as soon as you snap the ball to him, he's not going to be able to see over your freaking 6'5+ offensive lineman. He plays from the shotgun because of his physical limitations. So do you change everything about what you have forecasted and that you've kind of shown outwardly, I guess, that you want to do, which is to be more of a power running team, and now you have a quarterback that's going to be unable to perform under those circumstances? So there's a lot of questions. I think that, like you alluded to, there was a little bit of a head nod. Now you keep calling it a competition because you want JJ McCarthy to come out and to apply that pressure internally to himself to say, I need to be the guy and I need to prove that I am the guy. But I think that I don't think it's necessarily going to be a 50-50 on first team reps going into training camp that gets you there either. I think even if Kyler Murray starts off the season as the starter, there's no guarantee that he starts all 17 games for injury or performance, either one.
Correct. That's it right there.
Okay. Let me ask you something then. In the scenario that we've played out, it's either, okay, what if JJ performs? What if Kyler performs? We laid out the very rare circumstance where, say, Kyler balls out, goes somewhere else, gets a decent run in the playoffs, you look stupid. But you would also look stupid if you brought Kyler Murray in as a competition to JJ, and then they both play terrible.
Max Brosmer, come on down.
Because then the situation is just compounded even worse.
If Kyler Murray sucks in the first 5 games as your starter, KOC is getting fired. That's been my call since they signed him, right? Because now you put all of your eggs in that basket. You said, get me a guy that's played in the league. I'll make this offense work. If they stumble out the gate, KOC goes from, I think he's already on a warm seat to start the season, and you go it to rolling boil by week 5 if this team is 1-4.
Mm-hmm. And then you have to officially, and I mean this, officially say, you are not you are not a quarterback whisperer. You are a wannabe McVay.
Thank you.
Well, he's a quarterback whisperer as of right now.
This is going to be because we're talking about the percentile in where there's a very good possibility that both of them play awful. KOC gets fired, but what do you do in that scenario? Like, great, he's gone. But what do you do for the next 12 weeks after that?
You can call me. I'm 45 minutes
your
away.
Head coach. Frank Smith is your offensive coordinator. Like, I think they have a lot of security measures in place right now.
But it doesn't help you if both of them still suck throughout the season.
Well, no, you go to a straight power running team. You become a defense first power running offense who throws the ball on third down exclusively, and you probably make the playoffs still.
But then what do you do about the quarterback room?
Who gives a fuck? You blow it up. You blow it up after the season and you start from scratch.
That's the answer I want to hear, but then here's where it gets interesting. Say you blow it up. Are you trying to get your guy in free agency or via trade? Or in the draft now.
You're not trading assets. You are probably signing a free agent. You know, we kind of talked about Matthew Stafford's availability after this year. I think you're getting someone in that because ultimately I think this defense is too good now to tank, right? Like you're not going to get a top 10 pick with this defense performing the way that it is. So, and forecasting it now with the defense heavy draft that you just had, I don't think there's tanking in there, but you completely change the makeup of this team should they stumble out the gate. And I don't know if the Wills have the stomach for a mid-season coaching change and to fire a head coach like that. They've never, I know that they fired Childress at the end of the season, but it was pretty much a done deal at that point. Right. It wasn't necessarily mid-season, early season. So,
because you know what? I'm going to give it to Mike Tomlin. At least he realized I can't get over the hump anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let someone else try.
The thing
and
is,
then they just brought in somebody else who can't get over the hump either. But he went out with some dignity. I don't think KOC is going to go out with some dignity if this thing blows up in his face. Like, I don't know if it'll be Hugh Jackson levels of bad, but it might be like Rex Ryan levels of bad for a little bit.
The thing is if we go into this year and our quarterback play sucks, and let's say we do what Bubba said, blow it up, we got to make sure this guy has input on next year's quarterback. So we got to make sure that JJ, if he's around after this year, if we have another bad year, we got to make sure that we got the guy that maybe he wants.
I would say at that point, and that's an interesting, and I just don't know that you have the draft capital to trade. Maybe in the draft that you're able to pull the Burrow trade next year. I don't know. It seems more likely in the offseason this year if the quarterback situation does completely blow up. Ultimately, JJ McCarthy still has a year plus a fifth-year option left on his contract. Does the kid show enough to, to me, you keep him on to be your QB2 kind of regardless because of the physical attributes that he has, and he can probably perform for a game or two having to come in as QB2 because you don't want to have to go out and sign a QB1 and QB2, and now you're paying, a potential of paying $30+ million for a free agent quarterback that is of that level and paying another 10 to 15 for backup play that you're getting in the free agent market as well. I just don't think that you do that. Regardless, I think of how it goes this year. JJ McCarthy is still on this team at the beginning of next year, regardless of how he performs this year or whether he even sees the field, right? He's still on this team because that's just what the money is telling you, right? Because I don't think he has any draft value, or not draft, but any trade value.
No, he doesn't.
I got a question for you guys. If JJ McCarthy ends up being our number 2 quarterback, do you guys consider him to be a top 5 backup?
Go ahead, Norris Fias. I want to hear you chime in on this because you are the JJ apologist on this show right now.
Oh man.
JJ is a number 2 quarterback.
Norris, you there, buddy?
He's there somewhere.
So let's see. JJ is a top 5 backup quarterback. Whew. I'm trying to think of all the backup quarterbacks right now.
I have one thing. Steve says, I bet Justin Jefferson and JJ, this will be the last season in Minnesota. He will ask for a trade.
Man, I'm betting on
this. I'll take that bet right now, Steve. Right now. Let's go. Pink slips.
It's a very good possibility.
I know
Chevy. Bubba doesn't think he's that kind of dude, but
it would have to go 100% downhill to where JJ does not see any type of.
What do you think? Who do you think is going to be here at the beginning of next season, and who's not?
Oh, if it plays out the way we think it's going to play out, I think everybody will be back. I mean, barring the ones that might have a big cap hit on us, but I mean, if we're talking JJ, McCarthy, JJ, Justin Jefferson, Jordan. Addison might be the odd man out, but I think if we perform and get into the playoffs, everybody's coming back. Maybe not Murray because maybe his price tag will be too much, but if we end up having a Cleveland Browns type of year, yeah, JJ Jefferson will want out, I think.
All this Addison talk. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sick of that dude. I'm sick of Jordan Addison. I still want to know how the dog's doing. How's that dog doing? You know what I'm saying? What an asshole.
Hey, Coach, I forgot to mention one thing.
What's up?
There was actually 4 USC quarterbacks that have had problems. Wide receivers that have had problems, not 3. I forgot Chase Claypool.
Oh, I forgot all about Claypool.
I think he forgot about himself.
Norspius, if you're here with us, man, would love to hear your thoughts on if JJ McCarthy is a top 5 QB2 if he's not the QB1.
Oh, he is having some signal issues.
No, all right. Well, we'll pull him off there. We'll bring Coach back. Norspius, maybe try going out and coming back in. Maybe I'll kick him and we'll see if he can come back.
Well, Coach, you brought it up. Where do you think McCarthy fits if he's number 2?
Right. I'm not even gonna lie. I think he'd be one of the best backups. I'm not gonna lie. Starter, has games under his belt, but then going to backup. It wouldn't be the best. It wouldn't be the worst thing for him. I almost would rather take a page out of Green Bay's book and sit him for 3 years.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've always said with Green Bay the last few years is that they've had success in developing the quarterbacks because they sit them for those 3 years. So props to Steve and his team. They got something right. So.
Oh, Steve.
All right, Norspius, we got you back now, buddy.
Yeah, how am I coming in?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. JJ McCarthy, if he's not a starter, is he a top 5 QB2 going into this season?
Yes, 100%.
And for me, I just don't see, I don't know the other QB2s in the league well enough to be able to spout it off. But who's above him? A Mac Jones? It's because now, like, Green Bay had a really good QB2 last year, but now he's going out and he's a starter in Miami, right? So you've had a shakeup, and I don't know what Green Bay, and I guess Steve could probably enlighten us as to what their quarterback depth chart's going to be like this year. But I guess you could argue there's guys that are out on the open market, free agent market still that would be better quarterbacks than JJ McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers kind of being one of them, right? Even at 40-something years old, I think he's proven in the league.
I don't want that headache.
I'm not saying that you're wanting to bring him in. I'm just saying on like the big board of QBs in the league.
At least Brett Favre wasn't high off his own supply. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. So right now, I'll try to run through this quick here. So the Patriots' backup quarterback is Tommy DeVito. Buffalo's backup quarterback is Kyle Allen. Miami's current backup quarterback is Quinn Ewers.
Not enough film on him yet.
Nope, not enough film. Let's see here. The Jets is Brady Cook. That could change because they just drafted Kade Kaepernick, so that might change. Pittsburgh's undecided because right now their backup is going to be Will Howard. Not enough film on him. Baltimore is Ty Hudley, which he's been pretty good as a backup. Yep. Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Flacco probably leads the pack there, I would say. The Browns.
I got Joe third.
The Browns, the Browns are saying right now Shadur Sanders is number 2 because Watson's proclaimed the starter. So Jacksonville, their number 2 is Nick Mullins.
Inconsistent, but he's okay.
Houston's number 2 is David Mills. Indy's number 2 should be AR. Yep, AR with Riley Leonard right behind him on that one. Tennessee's backup is Mitch Trubisky as of right now.
Forgot about
Mitch
that
has
guy.
got to be up there too. Mitch is actually pretty solid backup.
Jared Stidham is in the Broncos backup. Trey Lance, who I like, is Chargers' backup. KC's backup is Justin Fields, which I really like. The Raiders.
I really
right
like
now,
the Fields signing.
Raiders is right now is Minnesota is number 2, but
Mendoza behind
yeah.
Cousins.
Yep. Eagles, a team that always likes backups. Tanner McKee with Andy Dalton, number 3. Dallas is Joe Milton III, which I know a lot of Cowboy fans wanted him to be number 1.
Joe Milton, did he play for Tennessee?
New England.
Yeah.
New England.
No, out of college.
Milton played for Tennessee.
Marcus Mariota is number 2 in Washington.
Marcus is solid.
Giants backup is Jameis Winston.
30 and 30.
I'll take
The
him in
Bears,
the
Bubba's favorite team is Tyson Badgett.
There was people
Green
calling
Bay.
for him to be the starter over
Caleb.
Tyrod Taylor's in green and gold. Detroit's backup is Teddy Bridgewater, but I think he's officially retired, so it'll be Luke Altmaier.
Okay. That's the kid out of Oklahoma. Did they just draft him?
They must have.
Altmaier came from Illinois.
Kenny Pickett's a solid 2 there for the
Who's the kid out of
Panthers.
Oklahoma, I'm thinking of.
Atlanta's number 2 is, of course, Tua.
Penix.
Yep. The Saints' number 2 is Spencer Rattler, who a lot of Saints fans want him to be the starter. In Seattle, their backup is Drew Lock.
Good backup right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the Rams organization, Ty Simpson now the number 2. Stetson Bennett the 4th is number 3, who they drafted
Both are solid.
last year or the year before, I think. The Rams right now, or the Niners, Mac Jones, who's a solid backup. And in Arizona, I would say it's open competition, but they got Gardner Minshew the 2nd with Carson Beck as their 3rd. So yeah, I would say he's probably in the talk to be top 5. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Mac Jones is going to be a backup much longer. I think he's probably going to get traded next season.
No, and that's the thing is preseason. I mean, somebody gets hurt, Mac Jones would be the first one I would call if I'm a team that's looking for a quarterback.
Yeah.
What would you give up for him?
I'd give up a 3rd, potentially.
Well,
a
and
low
that's the whole
second.
thing is, if San Francisco feels that they have 2 number 1s on their team, and they can. I mean, their asking
But they
price is going to be
paid
high.
Brock, you know.
Well, yeah, they paid Brock. He's definitely the number 1, but
How
If somebody
long does
gets hurt-
Mac have on his deal though?
if somebody gets hurt and people start calling the Niners, they know they got something, so they're going to, want a little bit more than a 3rd for them.
Yeah.
So
Coach.
Yeah.
How much time does he have left on his contract, Mac Jones?
who? Mac Jones? Oh, let's see here.
Yeah, that's big B all the way.
Let's see here. Mac Jones contract. So he is, let's see here. So it's a contract deal. So it looks like he has 2 years left. Yeah, Mac Jones signed a 2-year deal with San Francisco in March of 2025. So he's got 1 year left actually after this year.
What was
So
the
he'll be
deal
a
for?
free agent this year. Yeah.
What's his contract?
So he's got 1 year left.
This year is $1.4 million base salary. Could be up to guaranteed 5. So you're looking at the range of 7. Yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent next year.
Okay.
And you can easily trade for this guy and extend him for $27 to $30 million a year for like 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's only 27, so next year he'll be 28.
And I think the Niners have to move him this year before they lose value on him, because who's to say how much tape he's going to get this year compared to last year, where he had a solid amount of tape at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
and
that's the whole thing is, you're stashing him, as a number 2, but if teams start calling, I mean, yeah, the Niners hold all the cards because, to a point, I'd say, because if they don't try to move him before the trade deadline,
they don't try to move him by October, they're going to start losing.
No, I don't think they would lose value, because if he ends up playing in the second half of the year, now you got tape on him. Maybe you toy with the idea, we're going to sign him, and then people.
Or maybe you don't have tape on him because.
Or maybe you do a sign and trade. I mean, you sign him and then trade him, but
I think that's what makes it so much more valuable to get him out of October, because the tape is still recent.
Yep.
Right.
Oh.
Yep.
Because if you wait till November, December, January, you're
going
to get a third or a fourth, not a second.
Well, once the trade deadline hits, after the trade line passed, nobody can be traded. So, I see your point, Pods. If the Niners want to get value for him, they trade him between now and the trade deadline to get something for him before losing him.
Yeah, because I think if you don't move him by this deadline, then he's going to move down to maybe a high,
Well, they would have to sign him. I mean, because after the end of the year, he's a free agent. So.
Yeah, I'm saying though, but if he decides to sign anywhere but San Fran, then they got nothing for it.
Yeah.
Because then if he signs as an unrestricted free agent,
and
there is very little tape on the guy, then maybe you're looking at signing him for maybe only $20, $24, $26 million a year versus $30 million.
Nah, I don't think you're going to sign. I don't think a team is going to sign him that much if he doesn't have much tape on this year.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's why he needs to get moved before the.
Well, yeah, the Niners hold the cards right now because they, and we've always seen those moves happen in preseason. People go down, or like the Jets who don't have a quarterback. I mean, they have a quarterback, but they don't have a quarterback.
Hypothetically, if he's on the market, I think he'd be a great fit in Minnesota, to be quite frank. Well, I'd love Mac Jones, and
I think a lot of people wanted Mac Jones here. Just didn't want to pay the price that San Fran was asking if there was trade talks with them. I mean,
now we can talk about a reunion with Juaun Jennings for Mr. Mac Jones.
Hey, he'd have some chemistry with at least one of his weapons.
Dude, Kyler Murray balls out and shows value. Do you trade Kyler Murray for Mac Jones?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, the thing is the Niners are going to have to sign him for us to trade for him next year. So, I mean, that
in my honest opinion, I think Kyler Murray balling out is not going to be, even Jared Goff levels of balling out. I think the most that we'll probably see from Kyler this year, if he has a solid game, I think the most solid game I'll see from Kyler Murray this year is maybe 3 touchdowns, passes for 240 yards, and runs for 80.
Well, he's never thrown over 4,000 yards, right? But the bar is so abysmally low right now for quarterback play in Minnesota because of recency bias, right? That you don't have to do much. So it seems like he's definitely going to be the starter to begin the year, unless JJ McCarthy does something, insane over the course of this year and shows up to training camp, just being a completely different player. A lot of people will say that a Tiger can't change.
Unless JJ starts playing like Tim Tebow in the playoffs, I doubt it.
A young man can improve, and I think that's what the Vikings brass are hoping they see is improvement. Can he start to throw with more anticipation? Can he not overthrow guys by 10 yards on over their heads, right? There was a couple of bad throws, and I think the fact that you were losing games that you felt like you should have won, that compounded it, right? I think if this team does win one extra game and makes the playoffs, our feelings about the quarterback position are completely different, right? And that's the league, and that's fan bases in that. Norspius, we promised Steve a little bit of draft talk. I'd love to get your thoughts on the Vikings draft, just kind of overall feelings, and how you're feeling about this draft class coming in.
Well, first of all, my belief is the first 4 rounds for sure, you should draft for your needs. And those are the best players on your boards that are available to you at that time. And after that, 5, 6, 7 rounds, then you take a stab at players. You throw that dart. But I think, yeah, they swung for the fences on Caleb Banks. And before I heard about the foot injuries and stuff, that was my guy. That was the guy that I wanted the Vikings to draft. I mean, you build your team from the trenches out. You don't build your team around a wide receiver.
Good.
I'm just saying that. I love Justin Jefferson, but that's not how you build your team. Not a championship team.
Not going to matter if he's getting blown up and nobody throwing him the ball.
But
Excuse me?
It says it doesn't matter. What you're saying is true, because if they don't have a good front line either, then it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, because they might not be getting the ball to Justin Jefferson. Got to have the good interior lineman, and that goes for both offense and defense, or you're screwed.
Well, 100%. Like I said, and even when Kirk Cousins was the quarterback and he was putting up really good numbers, who was the center? Who kept on getting forklifted into Kirk Cousins' face?
Bradbury,
yeah.
5'2" gnome.
Yeah. You got to have a monster in the front. Matter of fact, go watch that Super Bowl back, this last Super Bowl. They didn't go after Bradbury. They went around him, which I was amazed at. They never went. The Seattle Seahawks did not go at Bradbury. I was confused. They went around the edges and they still won. Yeah. If they would have went up the middle, game over in the first quarter for the Patriots.
Bradbury game did improve this year because I believe he was a Pro Bowler. I could be wrong on that, but
does that really mean the same as it did back in the day?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It does. No. It only means something for contract. But no, I see what Nordsby is saying is, the weakness was pushing Bradbury back into the quarterback all the time. Again, your anchor.
That
of
New
your
England
defense,
line had a lot of issues.
Yeah, but your anchor of your offensive line is your center, and if he's getting pushed back, your whole line is getting pushed back. Coach, am I wrong or am I wrong?
No, you're right on. You're right on.
You know what this team reminds me of being, Coach? It kind of reminds me of I want to say it was one of the late 80s Patriots teams that got to the Super Bowl. It was like a Cinderella run, and then they just got absolutely obliterated.
What, was Steve Grogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bradbury is now on the Bears, so we can watch. Well, hopefully, we can truck roll him right into Caleb Williams a couple times.
It's gonna happen.
I think that the Vikings are in a very unique spot. They have so much talent on that defensive side, and I do believe they made the right draft picks on offense this year. They may have not been the sexiest picks, but they were needed picks. Because if Big Citrus develops,
Oh God, I love that name. I'm sorry.
remind me, what position does he play, Coach?
Big Citrus?
Defensive end, I believe.
D tackle. One of the two.
You
No,
have the
he's
potential.
a nose guard. He is a nose guard.
Okay, yeah.
You
And
have the
when-
potential in Big Citrus to have an interior Chris Jones.
Damn.
No.
Damn.
Big Citrus is a nose guard, and that's exactly what he played in college. If you want to talk about Chris Jones, Caleb Banks is the Chris Jones factor. But now keep in mind, it took Chris Jones 3 years to become Chris Jones.
Yes, but under
Mike
Flores,
Jones.
just like the Kansas City stuff, I have no doubt that if anybody's going to get it, it's going to be Flores that gets it out of him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we're looking at the next interior wrecking ball. I really do.
I'm hoping.
I love these two picks, boys. I love these two picks.
Hey,
I
quick
think the
question.
pick that's getting massively overlooked because of the big guys up front is Jake Galday.
The linebacker, yes.
Galday is going to be a problem in this Flores defense. I think it's going to put a super talented, athletic guy. This guy played like over 100 snaps at nickel, right? Like you're talking about a 6'4", 240-pound man out there who can cover anyone in the league that you can line up in 3 or 4 positions around that defense. The guy's going to be an issue. And I think you saw him get a pick at rookie minicamp. I think it was tipped. You couldn't really see in the clip that the Vikings.
The dude is a solid coverage linebacker, but he's also built where he can plug the run. So he is a true, punch and cover kind of guy.
Well, and I think a lot of people assumed that he was going to take one of those inside linebacker spots, but I think you're going to be able to, the heir apparent to your, Van Ginkel, right? Have him, work behind a guy like that and learn the tricks of the trick. Because that's what makes Van Ginkel who he is, right? Is the cerebral part that he brings. Yes, he's physically gifted. I think you saw a little bit, I think you saw him fall off a little bit in the physicality department last year. He is a little bit undersized to kind of be that edge rusher, right? Going up against guys that are 6'7" tackles. He doesn't quite have the physical stature to get in there. He can kind of get pushed around and washed out. But as far as anticipation and just knowing the play before it happens, right? The way he jumps those routes on those short, sideline to sideline throws to come up with those Van Ginkel interceptions, right? You can teach that to a guy that has the physical traits. And at 6'4", Galday's got a massive wingspan. So I think that's one that's kind of getting overlooked right now.
Who he kind of reminds me of, Bubba?
Turn out to be a monster. And you just have to get him healthy. And it seems like all signs are pointing to him being ready for training camp. But if he takes a year or two to develop into someone who's just a force on that inside, that's okay, right? Like at 18, you're not necessarily getting someone. I know a lot of talk about passing on, Thieneman at that. I think that's the big miss and why you have the reaction in the stadium that you did. But you can find safeties, and I think they got a dog in Jacoby Thomas in the 5th round, right? And somebody that probably got a little bit of an attitude about being picked in the 5th round about it. The last thing you want to do to a dog is to rattle its cage, right? And I think that young man's cage has been fully rattled at this point. And you got to remember that the hitman ain't retired yet. So just kind of putting that out there too.
That Galladay, has he signed yet, or does he still have a problem?
It's
the contract thing. I'm guessing it's just the measurables of the contract, the guarantees in it is what I'm guessing.
But
Coach, you know who he kind of reminds me of? like if I was to put him by profile.
Who?
He kind of reminds me of Derek Johnson, but with better coverage skills.
Okay.
Uber
I can see that.
athletic, can really punch on close on the run, but he's got the IQ to go like into coverage and be able to get into those underneath spaces within the 7 yards. Like
Yeah, and what
that's
I like
really
about
good to have a guy who can cover a back.
What I liked about the draft is it might not have been the names that everybody was doing it, but there was definitely a profile, right? There was a RAS score. This was definitely B-Flow putting his thumbprint on this draft and saying, look, these are the guys, when I watch the tape, they are going to fit into what I do, not just picking on who's on the big board on ESPN and who's
this draft was about scheme fit.
Yeah, man. Well, and he has a very unique scheme that you have to fit into. It requires a lot out of these players, especially on the back end and in the linebacking core.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
So, and it requires a certain amount of physicality up front that you really you haven't had. You've had guys that are undersized, either on the height, and I like the two guys that we got, the Rodriguez and the other guy, and even Jalen Redmond, who was great. I think that's your nose tackle, kind of in there. And then you put where did he play? Was he on one of the defensive end spots?
So right now, because I was going to bring up a point here.
Good night, love. I'll be in soon.
Jalen Redmond is right now, as of today, will be the right defensive end.
Okay, so he played one of those ends.
No, I'm sorry. Rodriguez will be the left defensive end. Redmond will be the right defensive end. So, yeah.
So then who was in the middle?
So right now they got Caleb Banks sliding for the middle.
As the nose tackle. Okay.
Yeah. So here's something I was just looking up. We all remember the Williams wall, right? Cody and
Yeah.
All right. So Kevin, Kevin, 6'5", 311. Pat, 6'3", 317. We draft Banks, if healthy, 6'6", 330. And then we drafted Big Citrus, 6'4", 325. So could we be seeing some kind of built there to stop the run up the middle? I mean, who's going to be able to block those two if they're on the same?
That's a lot of big bodies with a lot of gaps getting closed.
Yep.
And I think they both play substantially in a rotation with the guys that you have there now while they learn the
right now, Citrus is listed at number 2 at the nose tackle behind Banks.
Right, so you're rotating those two guys at nose tackle all season long, letting them get their reps in, kind of filling in for one another.
They are, but on short yard situations, those boys are going to be in the middle, clogging that hole.
Mm-hmm. Big B.
Yeah.
Where did that list come from? The Vikings?
ESPN.
Okay, they're wrong. They're absolutely wrong.
Okay.
Big Citrus is a nose tackle.
Yeah, they got him number 2 behind Banks. They got Banks listed number 1.
Banks is not a nose tackle. He's a 3 to inside 4 and 5 technique.
Yep, but yeah. So I'll just go by the depth chart that ESPN has. So
and going by Pods, what he was saying, he wanted to talk about Banks being the next Chris Jones. Well, Chris Jones moved all over the place. If you watch KC, he moves left to right. Doesn't matter, but he is not a nose tackle, and neither is Caleb Banks.
Let's see. So the Vikings don't have an updated depth chart. Let's see here.
I wouldn't really take any roster stuff seriously right now because nobody knows what that roster is going to be.
You're exactly right.
3 of the
nobody
preseason.
knows. So like I said, I was just going by what ESPN plugged in right now, knowing that things are going to change once the season goes along here. So, but I would if Banks is healthy and Citrus is healthy, they're both going to be on the field on short yardage situations for sure. to cover that run.
We also have to remember that
Okay, so
free agency.
let's just say that neither one of them
free
plays nose
agency
tackle,
isn't
which I agree
over
with, by the way.
either.
Because I
right?
still
Like-
think Banks could be an interior menace, but not.
Well, they're both
like
going to be
middle.
interior linemen. I mean,
So
Well,
I'd take him if it's Banks. I would take him rotating between the left and the right, and even on some special packages, you can put him on the end.
yeah.
Well, and it's such a different
yeah.
thing. Like,
So,
but
I
there's a
wouldn't-
big difference between
Who
a
do you put in
4-3
nose tackle though
defensive
to
end
shore up that middle? Because that's an important spot.
and a
Yep.
3-4 defensive end, right?
Right.
There's a massive difference between those two, and in this defense that B-Flow plays, what I would like to see if there's somebody that can be a big body that can just anchor that middle, because what you really want with the 3-4 is somebody in that middle that can take up two guys, that they can take the center and a guard, depending on which way you're trying to move that offensive line out of the play. So it would be nice to see who's available, even moving into the end of free agency, even, or, into the beginning of the season. You never know who's going to get cut on these teams either. I see if there's somebody that can anchor that fits that profile. And that's why I was thinking but there's really nobody with that profile on this team, right? What I think of the old Bears teams. You had a trailer in the middle, right?
Yep.
That was, just 360 pounds, right? Like somebody that just by sheer mass could take two people completely out of it, which frees up your more athletic defensive ends, right, to go and make plays and to put pressure on those guard tackle combos to be able to take guys out of it.
Well, that's why, I mean, and that's what Paz is getting at. Right now, you can't take the depth charts what it is, because right now, if Banks and Citrus are both healthy, I'd like to see them both on the field as much as possible together to free up, because 6'4" and 6'6" in the middle there, you're gonna need 2-3 guys to block both of them, if not 4. So that's going to open up a lot of ways for B-Flow and his defense just get hungry on the quarterback and running back. So,
well, and that's
Makes
why I
third
thought
down's a hell of a
maybe
lot
moving someone
easier,
that
too,
showed
if
a
you
lot
got
of
both on the
promise
field, in my
in
opinion.
Jalen Redmond inside, so you could do that and move those guys out. But Redmond, a little bit undersized, but he definitely showed a lot of promise last year. And a guy that came, was he UFL or XFL? He came
UFL.
Yep. UFL.
yeah.
And the only problem with that was he came out of Oklahoma, but he had clotting issues in his legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, I think this defense is a problem for the foreseeable future at this point. I think you restocked and got younger, which we talked extensively about with this team going into the draft. So I think the Vikings kind of knocked it out of the park. You were picking 18th. You were picking in the middle of the round in every one. You made a bunch of trades to move back. You traded Grenard, got a third this year and a third in a much deeper draft next year. I thought that was a great move. People can gripe about if they want to. I think you're probably going to get a second round talent in that third round next year, depending on where the Eagles end up at the end of their season, which, who knows? They're a Jalen Hurts injury away from freaking, being at the bottom of the league, right? So there's no telling what that draft pick comes into. I like that, punting it out there. I thought they drafted for need at every position. You got an offensive tackle that probably fills in, if not this year, into a swing tackle role at the very least for you, plugging into the future. And then you got a center at the end of the draft who probably a developmental piece, but may earn playing time towards the, into next year or the year after that, right? And if not, it was a seventh rounder, right? Or a sixth.
What's going to rely on the Vikings draft, as it always does, is everybody was claiming for us to get that Tillman that went to the Bears. So Tillman has a breakout first year, second year, and Banks is a bust. They're going to say this draft was a bust. I mean, so Banks has to be almost as good as Tillman for the Bears for us to consider, well, we got the right player. Because if we passed on him and he balls out and wins Rookie of the Year or leads the Bears, deeper in the playoffs and Banks doesn't play, it's going to be a bust for the draft.
I think you
Big
get
D.
2 seasons though
Yeah.
before you even start getting into that conversation.
Oh yeah.
Hell no, man. Week 2, he doesn't have 3 sacks. Everybody's going to be like, this draft
Yep.
sucked. Caleb
Yep.
Banks is a bust. Like, you already know how this fan base is going to react.
Yep.
Go ahead, Norse.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, I'm just extremely excited about this season. I'm extremely excited to see how those 2 big boys do in the middle, and if they can stay healthy. If this team can stay healthy all the way around, especially at the quarterback position, there's no reason why we don't make the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, this team
But-
is a defensive coordinator's dream.
right.
Right
This
now.
would be, yeah.
Especially if those 2 worked out.
I mean, because I'm defensive minded first. I love coaching the defense. I love the ability to not only stop a team from scoring, but my defense can produce scoring as well and help
They
out.
can.
And yeah,
Funny.
but
You don't
I
want to
mean,
just be good, you want to be dynamic.
facts. So I mean, I love what this defense has got to offer, and I hope that they.
If those 2 guys turn out, you're looking at the best
championships.
defensive line
defense,
in the
yep.
NFL.
Defense wins championships, and I mean, we got to have that one drive last year that took like 18 minutes. Like, we need more of that.
Got to have a lot of those.
We can't go 3 and out and have those big boys huffing and puffing before they even get out there. Like, that's just facts. But on that note, fellas, I'm gonna have to get going here.
Yeah, me too, man.
But just wanted to give you guys a little update before I do. I've never coached in the high school ranks before. Always wanted to try to get into it. And I told myself I'd never coach my old high school. Well, that changed. I had an interview today, and I'm looking to be the varsity or junior varsity head coach. So we'll
For Cannon?
yeah, for Cannon Falls. Yeah.
Nice. Congrats there, coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, good luck.
Where's Cannon Falls at?
Small town, middle of nowhere. You wouldn't want to visit it if you had the chance.
Unless you like wine, and then you come,
Yes.
then you come to Cannon
Wine,
Falls.
pizza, and churches.
Wine, pizza, churches, and now our famous Coach Cody. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's
So,
go.
Hey, I
But-
might visit if the pizza's good.
hey, Dudley's Pizza. Dudley's Pizza. Don't go to that main
Go
street.
get him, Coach Cody. Go get him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, appreciate yours. Thanks
Congrats,
for tuning
Coach.
in and dropping
See you,
in on us
fellas.
today. It's good to hear your voice and have you in. Coach, congratulations to you. Steve, thanks for tuning in, brother. We've missed you. Appreciate having you around and tuning into the show. B, Pods, always appreciate you guys talking Vikings with us. It's a lot to be positive about, I think, right now in Vikings fandom. We got a lot to look forward to. Obviously, we're going to hit a little bit of a lull here over the next few months until training camp, but a lot of other stuff to get into, a lot of golf action that we'll be sharing as well.
a lot of baseball action.
Yep, a lot of stuff happening. Just actually got word today that Operation Combating Veteran Suicide will be a big part of the Sioux Falls Canaries season with their hero of the game segment. So we're going to be helping them to find their heroes to honor and getting some activation inside of the stadium. So huge move for us today. That just happened this afternoon. So pretty excited about that. And yeah, just a lot of great stuff coming. Norris, thanks again for joining us, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, Bub. Thank you for what you're doing for the vets, man.
Yeah.
Always an honor, brother. Can't wait to get together. Norris, where are you in Minnesota?
I am in the southwest corner of Minnesota. I'm in Marshall.
Yeah, so you're not
Okay.
terribly far from me, man. So we need to get together. I don't know if you're a golfer, but shout out to Skunked Golf. They host all of our golf content. We're gonna try to get on the course a couple of times at least this year. Hopefully, as a big group, maybe we'll all go visit B and Coach up in Cannon Falls. You guys got to have a decent course around you, I'm sure.
Oh, we got a nice one. Yeah. I should say I've heard it's nice. I drove by it. I have not golfed it yet. So
Any golf course out at the casino?
we sponsor a golf course called Mount Frontenac.
Don't worry, fellas. I got quite a few nice courses around me.
So
Far away, Pop.
I like it because it's up in the mountain area, so there's some good views. As a matter of fact, probably within the next couple months, we'll have our team member golf tournament out there, so I'll definitely get some
But
shots.
guys, it was really nice
Yeah.
talking,
Yeah, good one,
Thanks
Paul.
for
you know,
everything, Pods.
talking
Appreciate you. I'll see you
baseball and
Saturday,
football
buddy.
this week with y'all. I'll see
Yep.
you on Saturday, Bubba.
Sounds great.
Norris,
And
it was really
everybody
nice
else,
to meet
we
you.
love you.
B,
Thanks
it's
for
always a
tuning
pleasure.
in. Make sure
Yep.
you
Have
Good
a
to
good
meet you,
one,
man.
and I hope all the future MAW stuff it rocks.
Oh,
Let's go. Hey, we'll see everybody back here next Tuesday for Vikings United. You can join Pods and I on Saturday for our golf show. And keep tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. And we love you guys. Have a great night.
Peace.
Peace.
In Minnesota, your home faces it all. Brutal winters, pounding hail, and summer storms that don't hold back. That's why homeowners trust Odyssey Exteriors, your local, family-owned exterior experts based right here in Burnsville. From roofing and siding to gutters, windows, and decks, we use Midwest tough materials and certified crews to protect what matters most. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and a reputation for integrity, we treat your home like it's our own. Call 952-923-0062 or visit OdysseyEXT.com today to schedule your free exterior inspection. Odyssey Exteriors, built Midwest tough, built for you.